Carl Coulage for the Sports Hit List by the fans and for the fans. An hour away from WWE Survivor Series. Normally we don't do pre-shows and predictions, but since it's a major, considered a WWE major pay-per-view, we are here to break down the pay-per-view and give the fans a quick preview. As I just said, I'm your host, Carl Coulage. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for subscribing, liking, sharing, and commenting to all Sports Hit List content out there. So we're here to break down the Survivor Series card. Not too much of a build for this pay-per-view. It was not as promoted as it usually is when it comes to Survivor Series. There's always a big hype behind which team you're going to go behind. And the company is really not at a good standstill right now. A lot of releases that are keep leaving people in the dark and big question marks as to why continue to support WWE when they're letting go superstars and not giving them the opportunity. So we're going to dive down into those conversations deep here as we go along the line in anticipation of Survivor Series. So let me bring in one of my contributors from the Backstage Brawl. I also have Zach Droll, who is an AEW fan as well, part of the pro wrestling team. He is going to join us as well as we preview Survivor Series. Zach, how you doing, sir? Oswego is in the building.
Yep, I'm doing good, doing very good.
I seem that I was very convincing to get you to come on because I know you said you didn't have not nice things to say.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but you're right. Like the truth does hurt a bit.
Absolutely.
But also, I will say that I am drinked up. I have Long Island iced tea in this cup with some lemonade.
Drink up, Mr. Randy from the Backstage Brawl. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. How's everybody doing today?
Good, man. I see you out there podcasting, definitely doing your thing. Definitely appreciate it. Or should I call you Teach? You're a teacher too, so congratulations on that front. We definitely got to throw you a shout out for that.
Thank you.
So before we even talk about the card, I know, as I said in my opening statement, we're not very pleased with WWE and what's going on with the multiple releases. And I don't even think Survivor Series has been a focus for fans. I didn't see personally. I've been watching the product, and there hasn't really been the build. Zach, I don't know about you. I know you're focused on AEW, which you can check out their injection show every Friday. Every Thursday morning to basically give you an update. But there was really no build behind brand supremacy as there's been in the past. There was no people invading shows as much. It was just, it was very confusing as to, people were placed on teams and then they got taken off. Like there was no consistency, and then the multiple releases. So before we even dive into the card, I know Zach, you have some frustrations with the company. So I'm gonna let you vent because I know you got a lot to say. So please, by all means.
So it's just this, like the build to this Survivor Series, and even if you don't follow Survivor Series, you know the build going in. But this, you have the teams announced on Twitter. Then the teams get broken up on the shows as the week builds up. And then now you want to put in the releases. I found out, so the 25-man Battle Royal that's happening.
That was announced on SmackDown, yeah.
Yeah, that kind of has a mixture of tag teams.
Right, yeah.
Hit Row was supposed to be in there. And you could definitely tell via the photo who the two people that were photoshopped in, like last minute. That was Cesaro and Manny. It's kind of obvious, like you could tell a lot of things. So like for me, the WWE is the start. I will always I respect WWE for what they've done, but it's the frustrations that I have with them that cause me to say the things that I do in our group chats and on the injection. It's just like I want them to do better. And the fact that they are bragging about the highest rated profitable margins that they have, and then not even 7 hours later they release people. It's kind of ridiculous. And also with Hit Row was promised DLC spots in the game. They were promised their own action figures and then dropped.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I've been one who's been pretty much, you guys know, like my stance on it. Christian Pollard is also joining us from the Sports Hit List crew. Thank you for joining us, Christian. Really appreciate it. Last minute in. I've been one who's been an advocate of like, listen, business is business. We know pro wrestling is a cutthroat. And I'm all about making sense. Some of these cuts to me just don't I've always said that the roster is like there are too many talent and some people don't get the shine. But when you call somebody up, it's like the same thing with like Keith Lee, right? Keith Lee was, like he had to be repackaged, I guess, to Bearcat, whatever they were calling him. And he seemed to have a lot of great inspiration. Like he seemed to be one of those guys that was going to be a top guy. and they cut him. So to me, it doesn't make sense when you call somebody up and then a week later you build their promo. Same thing with Aleister Black, and then they cut him. Like that's to me, that's what the question mark is with guys being cut. But if someone's backstage and they're in craft services not doing anything, those I understand. Randy, what's your take? I know Backstage Brawls. What's your take on the cuts before we even talk about Survivor Series?
I spoke to this last night on a podcast that I collaborated with Circle of Debate, and we talked about this in nauseum. It's crazy to, and I kind of took a controversial take. I felt like in some ways I think they know what they're doing because it's kind of like what they did in the golden era when the tail end of that era began and the new generation era began. They started releasing these the guys from that era and just sent them to WCW. It's kind of like them restarting themselves. It's like WWE is rebuilding for the first time in 20 years because once they had the merger, they were the only major show in town. Now that AEW is legitimately a company and an alternative, you don't need those people anymore that you've hoarded over for the last 20 years because there's another major in town that can actually rival you in a sense. So I kind of took that route, but the fan of me is kind of like pissed off because how many, especially people that Triple H legit helped bring in to change the aesthetic of what WWE was in that time frame after they acquired WCW, to bring more interest and to bring fans into the modern day genre with the wrestling and with the sincerity of what the industry represents. And it's cutthroat and it's messed up. And at the end of the day, like you said, it is a business, but the way everything is going down, it's really, really shitty.
Christian, I know you're not going to hold back either, and you've been, on Zach's side, so I'll definitely allow your take on, before we even get into the card itself, just the massive cuts and overall, what's going down behind the scenes.
Yeah. So, this has been a constant thing since it started last year in April. The big cuts, there was a big talent release. Miro, the Good Brothers, a bunch of big talents were released last year, but it wasn't until this year where it became a lot more common. What is this, the fourth or fifth round of cuts this year?
Yeah.
It's just it's not good. It's not healthy. As mentioned, when AEW and even back when Ring of Honor and New Japan were getting hot, the hoarding of talent began. Triple H, these are guys that Triple H helped. This is basically a lot of pet projects of Triple H's, like the last round with Keith Lee and Karrion Kross. These are two former NXT champions. Triple H really helped these guys. As we know, Triple H had that cardiac episode. I hope he has been getting better, but it's kind of, to me, it feels like a departing of Triple H's hard work. If Triple H wasn't married into this family, I'm convinced that this guy would not be in the company or involved with the company anymore due to these reasons, because this is all his hard work down the drain. There was a list of the talent. Now the number we're at of 80, there's 80 talent has been released this year, 80. And I think that's the biggest and this isn't even counting just the regular workers, camera people, post-production people, office people, because they got cut earlier in the year too. But this, it's not healthy.
80 out of how many you would say is on as far as talent is concerned? You said 80. How much would you say it's talent would have at least 300? Give or take between the three brands.
Oh yeah, it's been confirmed. But I'm just saying all the names from, I think it was April of last year. I think it's been confirmed 80. And plus this is even like I said,
Christian, I'm losing your video. So I don't know if there you go.
There you go. All right, but so basically all these guys, a lot of this was NXT call-ups because basically a lot of these people who got cut couldn't transition into the main roster, and that wasn't their fault. It's just these people didn't know what to do with them. You have Keith Lee, who was a star. You saw it 2 years ago at Survivor Series at this very pay-per-view. Keith Lee had that little spot with Roman Reigns. This guy had it, and then he came out at the Royal Rumble with Brock Lesnar. How do you not know how to make money with this guy? How do you not know how to make money with a Malachi Black? How do you not know how to make money with a Karrion Kross?
Roman won that Survivor Series 2 years ago, right? But Keith Lee
Yes.
still held his own. Yeah.
Yeah, and
but
then
even Roman put him over too.
Yeah, he gave him the fist pump at the end of the match. Roman even put out a tweet saying he wanted to have a singles match with him. That never happened.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
This, I mean, it's just Hit Row even did an interview on Busted Open saying, well, they were booked for this week's SmackDown and Survivor Series, and then they were taken off, and then they were booked again, and then they got taken off, and then they got cut. It's like people don't know what's going on in this company hour to hour. Once time they're going to be DLC in the game, and now they're not. And listen, I want to give a quick shout out to the WWE 2K dev team. God bless them, because they probably had to scrap 3 months of work with all this talent that's been.
I do think there's a
no,
cutoff
yeah, there's a cutoff for them because the game's supposed to be slated to come out in March.
Yeah,
so,
it's not right.
That roster is going to be messed up.
Yeah,
and you know, like they're finding out when we do. That's definitely because the talent's not finding out until we do. Look at John Morrison and Taya Valkyrie.
Yeah,
they were cut before the holidays. He found out on a European tour, and 2 weeks later he's gone. So.
And speaking of that, he was supposed to feud with The Miz, and that just completely got dropped. I get it. Miz went off to Dancing with the Stars, but why try to start a feud with Morrison when you know Miz is going to leave? Like some of the moves, like I said, we're not the professionals. You know, I understand we're just fans, and part of it is like we may not understand because we don't work there. But like I said, things just don't make sense. And I think for me and you guys know I'm a big WE guy. Sometimes I'm too stubborn for my own self, but sometimes I scratch my head like. Even on I was watching with the men's Survivor Series team, you know, they took out Dominic, right? And Pierce said he wanted champions, right? He wanted former champions to be on the Raw team. That's what he said. They put in Bobby Lashley, but then they take out Ray, and then they put in Austin Fury, you know, and I'm like,
Austin Theory.
Yeah, Austin Theory, but Austin Theory is now the champion, so that defeats what he said about taking out. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm a person of continuity and making sense. You're telling me you're going to cut these people because you're trying to have a budget cut. Cool, I understand you. If you're telling me like there's too much talent, I get it, but then don't push them up if there's a potential that they may get cut. That's my whole thing.
And that's another thing with the Survivor Series teams. Why would Adam Pearce or Sonya Deville care? They're the GM of both brands. I mean,
So people got removed. Even Sammy got removed. I don't know why Sammy got removed to put Sheamus back in. Why not just have Sheamus come back in originally? And then that girl, Aaliyah was pulled from her team.
But she's also very green. She's still very green.
I just don't understand why were there consistent pullouts, like pulling people out of teams, and not just have them name the teams, or just have what they used to do in the past, which are qualifying matches for the teams. That's what I'm saying is like, where's the consistency with that? It doesn't make any sense to me at all. You know, I think right now the Shinsuke and Damian Priest match was moved on to the kickoff show. Just to let people know that. So, So
I know. So I do know how the card is gonna flow out because I subscribe to Fightful Select. Shout out to them because they have provided so much news to everyone in the wrestling journalism sphere. So if you guys want to know how the card goes as follows, I have that. I have it.
Okay, so the U.S. match is on the pre-show, right? It's on the kickoff.
Do you want to know the opener?
Else?
You want to know the opener? Second,
is there anything else on there? So this is what I'll do. Since you know it, I'll say the match. You let me know what match comes up in what order, and then we'll talk about it. If that's okay. Okay. So the pre-show is the Priest and the U.S. champion. Correct. Is that first, right? And is there anything else on the pre-show?
No, nothing else.
Okay. So who do we have coming out of that match? Clearly, that match may be taking place right now. I'm not watching. I'm not sure.
No, I just turned it on right now. It's a preview of Shotzi and Sasha's feud.
Okay, so who do we have coming out of this match? I mean, again, this pay-per-view really has no build. There's no build. It just seems to be Raw versus SmackDown in terms of matches. Who do we have?
I miss the old builds. Of invading.
Yeah, there was no build for, in particular, this Priest versus Nakamura match. There was no build whatsoever. There's no video package, no promo, no social media thing. There's nothing.
No.
So you know what's sad? They had the time to build it up, but they
just don't want to.
Yeah, I think Priest is going over in this one because
I must say him with the eyelashes I don't like. I know it's I'm a very nitpicky person.
No,
he just looks completely weird. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
I'm with Carl on this one because like the way he brought him in, you change his theme, and now you're training him into like the dark vampire type shit. It really got me very upset.
Yeah.
So thinking about it, so it's like the way you're tweaking it is like you didn't need to mess with what was already good.
Yeah. And this isn't the
like,
end.
damn you, Kevin Dunn.
Yeah,
Damn
this
you,
isn't
Kevin
the end
Dunn.
of like when Priest came out as this new type of iteration of his gimmick. What it reeked to me as was NXT 2.0, because everybody, regardless of who you were, if you were an old head in NXT, you need to be gimmicked up now. I mean, you have a mobster in there, you have a skateboarder, you have a poker player. It's a
Rick
circus.
Steiner's son.
Yeah, it's a circus in NXT right now.
So who you got, Christian? Who you got coming out of this?
But for this match in particular, I do have Damian Priest, and I will give WWE credit. I have been a fan of how they've been presenting Damian Priest. I like how he's been presented as of late. Not with like the new gimmick and stuff, but ever since the WrestleMania match, I really like how he's been being presented in a top spot. And it's kind of weird because he is an older guy, but I do see him maybe 2 years from now being the WWE champion. But I do like how he's being presented. So I'm going to go.
If he doesn't get cut.
Exactly. Because I don't know.
Nobody knows if he doesn't get cut. Randy, who you got here, sir?
No, I got Damian Priest. As much as I want Shinsuke, because of hype and aesthetic, it's gonna be Damian Priest because they're
so I guess I'm going to disagree. I'm going Shinsuke because there's nothing better than seeing Pat McAfee standing on the table during Shinsuke's entrance, and I start going crazy, and I'm doing the whole. I literally had the theme song playing in my car and envisioning Pat McAfee standing on the table, Rick Boogs playing the theme song coming in. I think the hype to Shinsuke's entrance has definitely been great. I think that's a positive for him, and especially.
I do the same thing with Adam Cole's theme. Like even with the new one, I legit I do the boom every time I hear it. Yeah, I throw up my hands to the Adam Cole baby every time.
Yeah, so just seeing listen, just seeing Pat McAfee standing on the table, just jamming out and rocking out to Shinsuke, I think is great. So I'm going Shinsuke. Zach, what's the next match to open up the show?
The opener is going to be Roman and Big E.
Wow.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, they're really Sean Bredding this for Charlotte and Becky.
Wow.
Oh my God.
They're really doing it.
I did not see that coming.
Yeah.
All right.
I will
Roman
say
versus
something.
Big E will open up the show, and this is guaranteed. Your sources look.
Sean Ross Sapp is like 99% of the time right.
Wow. Okay.
There's always that 1% chance.
Honestly, listen, Roman has the hot hand. I don't see it. So then that completely eliminates my theory and hopes that The Rock was going to come out at the end to be like to start the whole feud because it's his 25th anniversary. That's what I thought was going to be booked. I thought that was what I was looking at, but I guess I was wrong.
That's another thing too. At the bottom of this email that I guess says we have not heard mention of The Rock being backstage at the show as of yet.
But then that dispels the rumor because unless they're going to do an ending segment where The Rock comes out at the end, you're clear, like you're not going to have The Rock come out in the beginning unless you want a huge pop in the beginning. I think if WWE's been picking up on what other companies have been doing, you show the beginning of something, kind of like when they put Punk out with AEW, they brought Punk out immediately at the beginning. Yeah, because they know like the crowd will take over the show. Right, but again, I got Roman going over. Roman hasn't lost a match, gotten in almost 2 years, clean at least. So I can't see Big E coming away with this victory. Unless it's like, again, he lost via DQ, but Roman hasn't lost like an official match. I don't remember the last time I seen Roman lose a match. You guys probably know better than I do, but I got Roman in this one. Anybody disagree?
No. Roman, I mean, I agree with Roman's booking. I don't think he should be losing for a long time. Even when the match with The Rock happens, he has no right to be losing to The Rock. There's no way.
It's just hard to see. It's just even hard to see him drop the title and then come back from that. Like Roman is just hot right now. Like he'd have to lose it to somebody bigger than he is at this point.
I'll make a comparison because they were two dominant champions at the same time with him and Kenny Omega. I'm not going to compare the two brands or two companies, but basically the way they've been booked is dominant champions, both of them, obviously.
That's true.
But Kenny in his matches gives his opponent everything. They look like credible threats. Roman, on the other hand, he's been destroying everybody. The WrestleMania main event when he stacked up Bryan Danielson and Edge, The Rey Mysterio match where he just completely obliterated him. The Kevin Owens stuff. It's just a lot of these guys didn't even seem like a lot of these guys didn't seem like they have a chance. So to the fans, now it's no one really should be beating Roman. There hasn't been that credible person to beat Roman yet. They need to start building somebody up for this guy because it really isn't.
It seems like Drew McIntyre may be the next guy in line. That's what you're gonna say. That's what you're gonna say, Randy. See, that's that Haitian connection. I got you, baby. I got you covered. No, Drew, it seems like Drew may be the only guy that may be up there for him. But everyone's going Roman. Zach, what's the next match?
The Women's Survivor Series is the second match of the night.
Okay, so the Women's Survivor Series. Let me give everybody let you know on the Raw team you have Queen Zelina Vega, Carmella, Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley. That rounds out the Raw team versus Shayna Baszler, Sasha Banks, Shotzi, Natalya, and Toni Storm.
I have a quick question. You have Rhea Ripley on the Raw team. Why not put just Nikki with her as well? Put the two tag teams.
I don't want to see
off for that team. So who's going to come off?
I don't know. Because there's two of my favorite females on both brands.
The only person I would say honestly who would be on that, maybe you don't want to kill her momentum, is Zelina Vega. She just won the King of the Ring, so maybe put somebody else in there to get a shine. But I see why. Carmella doesn't really make a breaker for me. Liv Morgan has a championship opportunity. I see why she's in there. Bianca Belair is a superstar, so she has to be on the card. So again, the only person you would really remove off there is Carmella or Vega. In a sense.
I don't mind moving Carmella off there if you want to put Nikki, but then Nikki, like she's, I know this gimmick is her idea as far as we know. Like once again, as far as we know, because we know like the last time we heard a gimmick was someone's idea and ended up not being their idea. It's just the fact of which like
whose gimmick was that? Who are you saying?
But yeah, Keith Lee, he went on record saying that the Bearcat was his idea. Then after he got released, he said, "No, it wasn't my idea."
I'm pretty confident that this was Nikki's idea. There was actually a person who took inspiration behind Nikki's idea. It was Shane Thorne,
as far as we know,
and he just got cut. So, listen, I think Nikki's gimmick was the worst gimmick of the year so far. I think it's atrocious. I don't think she needs to be anywhere on this pay-per-view.
But just like, with who to replace? Maybe Carmella, because Carmella's not really doing anything.
She's got the mask gimmick. That's really it.
Who we got coming out of here? I'll go Team Raw just for the sake of it. Like I said, this pay-per-view really has no build, so I can't really say.
I'll go Team SmackDown.
I'll go Team Raw.
I'll go
just for the sake of predicting.
Yeah, I'll go Team Raw because of Rhea and Bianca being on that team, and I think if SmackDown loses, and then you could further the storyline between Shotzi and Sasha Banks. So you could do that. So I don't know.
All right.
I got Team Blue. I'll go SmackDown.
Okay, Zach, what's next, bro?
It's up in the air. It's either going to be RK Bro and the Usos or the 25-man Battle Royal. So you can pick your poison because that one.
25-man Battle Royal. I'll say I don't really care for it. I can gloss over it. It seems like it's setting up for Sami Zayn to come out victorious because
I hope so.
Promo. So I think he kind of needs something.
Why isn't that on the pre-show?
Because you know what? It's in honor of The Rock. Maybe I don't know. Like in honor of The Rock. Like I said, there's no logic.
And half the wrestlers on there.
I'll say that. I'll say AJ Styles being on there is despicable.
I literally took a look at it and I'm like, this is a bunch of tag teams with a little bit of 24/7 mix and like one singles competitor. It was
to be honest, imagine if Omos just like barrel rolls through everyone and wins.
All right, everyone pick a winner. I'm going Sammy.
I'll go Sammy as well, even though Omos seems like a smart idea.
Listen, I'm a good person of reading the room. We don't care about this. We're just doing this just for our show purposes because we're here to make predictions. Yeah. But nobody cares.
I'm going with Omos because big man Vince Battle Royal.
I guess that's the consensus because I was going to choose the Nigerian, mauve jacket wearing man in Omos.
Okay. RK Bro versus the Usos. I want to pick RK Bro, but I kind of see that they're teasing the breakup for RK Bro because Riddle's not listening. And I think for them to drop, for me, if I was going to book them to drop the titles, I would book them to drop it against Otis and Chad Gable because they're the only other.
Yes.
Like that seems to be the path for them to drop the titles to. But it looks like there's a little bit of dishfunction. I don't know if I'm reading too much into it. You guys can tell me.
Here's a very fun thing. Even though and me being an AEW fan, long-term booking, it bleeds through me. Mm-hmm. At the 2019 Survivor Series, Matt Riddle pinned Orton.
Randy.
So
2019 he did?
Yeah.
Or 2020? 19?
No, no,
2019, 'cause that was the
2019.
NXT one.
When NXT
Oh,
was
okay.
in it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So like, hey, if somehow, because there's been unintentional bookings for long-term stories, Edge and Seth being a main priority thing, that was a complete like coincidental long-term booking.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But
So-
but I think you have the Usos win, and I think after the match you have Randy RKO Riddle. Then say the next match, they just say like the next week they drop the titles.
Right. And then I would say their match would be either the Royal Rumble or WrestleMania. Yeah. Mania. Yeah. Anybody who Christian, who you have here?
I'm going with the Usos, just to further the story. I think, and the bloodline stuff. Zach, I think, as you know as well as I do, that I think we know more than they do. I don't think they have a clue that Riddle pinned Orton at Survivor Series 2 years ago. I don't think they remember. But
today, I didn't remember till I saw a TikTok today of the highlights of that match.
Yeah,
I was like,
that
wait.
totally didn't remember. I totally didn't remember that.
But
Well, like I said, but like
I am
long-term
going with the
bleeds.
Usos. Yeah,
All
I,
right,
I
Randy?
hope it's long term.
No, I said the Usos. I have the Usos.
You said Usos, you got the Usos. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would say the Usos as well, because again, you can clearly see that Riddle's not paying attention to anything Orton has to say. So I'm assuming the Men's Survivor Series is the next, and Becky
Correct.
Charlotte goes on last. Okay. So
Yep.
the Men's Survivor Series, you have Bobby Lashley, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, Finn Balor, and Austin Theory versus King Woods, Baron Corbin, Sheamus, Jeff Hardy, and Drew McIntyre. Zach, who you have coming out of this?
I'm gonna go with Team Raw just so they can add more wins to Kevin Owens' record before he dips out.
Oh, he's definitely dipping out.
He's gone. He is
I'm
absolutely
sorry.
gone. AEW is doing an Owen Hart Memorial Tournament. That guy is going to AEW. He named his son after Owen. He named his Kevin Owens after Owen. He's the same amount of days the Intercontinental Champion as Owen Hart. It's his favorite wrestler. He's gone.
I have to tell you guys
think
the story where I met him. Did I tell you guys that story?
what
No.
Kevin?
Yeah. I
haven't
met
heard
Kevin Owens in Disney. Christian, you've heard it, right? So
No, I
met him
haven't.
so I met him in Disney. I was literally with a high school Disney trip, and we're walking into the restaurant, and I went to the bathroom, and here comes Kevin Owens with his kids, like walking into the restaurant in Disney. I don't remember. I think it had to have been maybe 2016, was it? Yeah, it had to have been 2016. I think right
So
after
just when he debuted. pretty
yeah,
much.
just when he debuted around that time, right? And I asked him, I asked him for a picture, and he's just like, he told me no because he's with his kids.
Mhm.
And I was just like, I think you're going to be world champion. I think you're great. And I was like, and he was like, thank you. And then I walked away. And then he just
And
sat
hey,
down
he
and
became
did his
Universal Champion. So
job. Yeah, he did. Yeah. So that's my Kevin Owens story. But it'd be heartbreaking for me to see him walk. Like his contract's up in January, right?
yeah.
Yeah. It
Yep.
sucks.
Like
Right
I
after
said,
the
remember
Rumble?
he said on Raw he either has 3 months or 3 years. So
That's a
And-
heartbreak if they lose him. for
And
sure.
listen, it's nobody's fault but their own if they lose him.
Yeah, because he hasn't been Universal Champ since. I mean, he had that feud with Roman, but that's about it. I mean, he hasn't really had since Jericho left and he was world champion. He lost to Goldberg. He hasn't really had a push since.
Yeah, that was really it. And plus, on the other side, you have Jericho. You have the Mount Rushmore of wrestling. You have all his friends.
Yeah. Randy, who you have in this match?
I would say Team Raw. I think Kevin Owens needs it, and considering the fact that him and Big E might have one big feud for the title before he leaves, if he does leave, speculatory. So I would say Team Raw. I'll go with them.
Zach?
it's I agree with Team Raw. It's like for me, like I'm the biggest Kevin Owens fan. In 2019, I dressed up as him for Halloween. And I pretty much just look like him.
You do. You really do, low key. That is so awesome.
That was the night I was working a wrestling show. I was doing the ring crew. I was like, okay, there's a Toys R Us. No, there's a Walmart nearby. So I drove up to Walmart, went to the toy section, found the Universal title, grabbed that, and then I asked one of the wrestlers to help me with the wrist tape. And I'm like, yeah, this definitely
Can I see that
looks
picture
like...
again? That's pretty funny.
Dude, I'll send it in the group chat.
That's hilarious. That's awesome.
Also, I saw I mentioned in a comment by one of the viewers.
Yeah.
At a quick glance, I probably wouldn't have told the difference.
Yeah. That's awesome.
That's one thing I'm proud of. I had an ex who said I looked like Kevin Owens, but
Sammy's gone too. Sammy's contract is up too, right?
It's half and
coming up.
half.
All right, so it's the main contracts coming up are Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Johnny Gargano, and Kyle O'Reilly. Kyle and Owens, I believe, are gone. Sammy and Gargano are the ones I'm uneasy about. I think they might stay. So
okay, all right. So would you bet $100 that Kevin's gone?
Absolutely.
I would bet my entire life savings that Kevin's gone.
Oh, shit.
And I'll give
You
my
guys are
prediction.
not helping me here. Damn, man.
I'll give my prediction. I'm going with Team Raw just because of Rollins leading it, and he has that contract or whatever. So I guess I want to keep him strong.
Yeah, I mean, Randy, you said that you think he may get a championship match, but Seth is due for a championship match. So how do you even book that now? Is it a triple threat? Because clearly, Biggie is feuding with both of them, and it looks like it may be a triple threat for the championship, maybe at the Rumble or this New Year's pay-per-view crap they got going on.
Day one.
Don't understand what I guess that's behind the bloodline. I don't know.
No, it's just because it's the January 1st.
Okay. All right. I think it's
literally that was gonna be my smart ass comment when we talked about that day.
What is gonna be for the Usos and
no, because it's the first day of the year.
Yeah,
day one.
So stupid.
Yep.
All right, Becky versus Charlotte. Listen, as much as this is a great rivalry and this has been a long story,
this is gonna so what? I hope so. There actually is backstage heat between the two of them.
Because of the title exchange crap?
Yeah,
no, it was long.
No. It's deeper.
It's half and half.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the backstage heat? What's going on?
It's just like Charlotte's has pretty much a stick up her ass.
Yeah, that, and nobody wants to work with her. She's constantly being accused of politicking in the back. Nobody really likes her in the back.
The shoot fight.
The title exchange was basically the straw that broke the camel's back because Sonya Deville was even said to wanting to fight her. Charlotte had to be escorted out of the building.
So during the title exchange, she threw the title at Becky, right, or something like that.
Yeah, she dropped it when Becky was going to get it. First of all, that title exchange should have never happened. But that wasn't
scripted, and that wasn't scripted for
no.
Okay.
It's like the shoot fight that Charlotte had with Nia that night when they were like legit like beating the crap out of each other.
Yeah. And now Nia's gone, so
listen,
Carl,
that one hurt. Okay,
no, it don't. Get
Go
back
ahead.
in the performance.
It hurts me, but I've been holding it for too long. You know what this reminds us of, guys? Sean and Brett. and you know what was the main event at Survivor Series? Sean and Brett.
Yeah.
And you know what tonight is? Survivor Series.
There's no way they're doing
No. I'm not saying it's a Brooklyn screw job. What I'm saying is, for the first time since that time, WWE not only has the opportunity to capitalize on something right in front of them, and I said this earlier today on Brawl Talk, you can use this to fuel your brand that's severely dying. So one way or another, that's your best thing on TV.
Yeah, but I mean, how many times have we really seen Charlotte versus?
No,
Bex?
not in this situation, because now there's something that the fans can sink their teeth into.
That's
because now
that's one problem I have with this feud. That this feud really wasn't built up. The whole hook of this match is, will they shoot on each other? Spoiler alert, they're probably not going to. But that's the hook of this match. Are they going to shoot on each other? That's really it.
It's probably not, but don't rule it out.
Yeah.
No,
when
don't
would
rule
they
it
shoot
out.
on each other? Like when? Like during, before
during the match.
We'll say they get into they get caught in the corner. Someone's probably gonna throw a right hook to the stomach pretty hard.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right. But I mean, clearly they have to be professional because you have to end the match. So you kind of have to go in there like it's
not if you're mad like Charlotte, because Becky ethered her father on the MMA Hour when she basically just ripped Ric Flair a new one.
Mm-hmm.
So because
so we could do the 1, 2, 3, then kick out at 3.
Exactly, because it's
is this another Booker T Batista situation kind of thing?
No, this is legit Sean Brett in a sense. In terms of no, because you have to understand, it's between one person who had to get it out the mud to become champion and someone who's a second or third generation superstar.
Yeah.
Okay, are we placing bets that after if Charlotte loses here, she goes to the middle and she goes A?
Oh no, she's going.
W.
She's
Wait,
going.
Is their contract up?
Charlotte,
Her
I don't
contract should be
know.
up in 20. Her contract should be up next year, but she's gonna find a loophole to get out of her contract by hook or by crook.
I every time I keep hearing these Charlotte stories, I'm increasingly thinking that she might leave, and I don't necessarily want her in AEW, to be honest, because I mean she's kind of becoming she's not as bad as her, but she's becoming like a Tessa Blanchard figure where she's just people just don't want to work with her anymore. So
it's the fact
Because
that
she's or because of her ego kind of thing is
yeah,
getting to her?
hard to work with.
it's the fact which if she goes to AEW, she has to know there's no silver spoon in her mouth. There's no silver platter. It's work your ass off and get to where you are. Because everyone's
she would
fear.
also but to be fair though, she would also be like the most popular figure in that women's division. That's
the problem, because the women's division in AEW has been it's not what it's not what it's been earlier on. It's gotten so much better. I mean, they have actual star power now. They have Britt Baker, they have Thunder Rosa. They have a bunch of like Jake.
I see Randy freaking out.
What happened? What's wrong?
Yo, there was a fight between the Lakers and the Pistons, and Isaiah Stewart just got bloodied.
Oh, okay. I'll go check that out. Something other sports related. We are the sports hitlers. We do have breaking news.
Hey, I saw a reaction.
LeBron just got ejected. LeBron's gone. Davis is gone.
Oh wow! All right, I gotta tune in. Well, we're about to wrap up this show. Okay, so I'm about to go check that out. That seems to be more interesting than what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. This is crazy.
Why does it have to be Detroit?
In Detroit.
God damn it! In Detroit.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Mouse at the Palace too. All right, I'm about to go check that out. You guys enjoy the show. I was gonna do a post show, but this doesn't seem to be an interesting pay-per-view for me to do one.
Hey, if it garners it. And we're feeling hot after the show.
Just thank you guys for tuning in. I know you guys are not big fans.
I gotta run.
Okay. You about to go watch that? Is what you about to go?
No. Listen. No. Stay tuned to the Homeless Podcast because I'm pretty sure we're gonna record an episode this week.
Randy, thank you for joining us. So let me wrap up. He just left and he left everything on. All right. I don't know what's going on, but I want to thank you guys. I haven't seen you guys in a while, but thank you for keeping up with the AEW content. You guys are doing an awesome job. I pretty much let you guys do that as much as your own gating followers.
Yeah, we do apologize for taking over last week.
Yeah, there was like
5 shows.
It was we were doing we did at least 4 or 5 shows because we did predictions, we did the post show, we did the pay-per-view show.
Listen, I'm trying to push you guys to go on live. I think it'll be great for your platform. I think it'll be great for us. We have shows going on live here, so think about it. Going live, you guys get a reaction of people who are in the comments.
Yeah,
I think it'd be great for you. So you guys should definitely think about it. You know, I love you guys, and thank you for your dedication to the brand and continuing support of it. And bigger and better for sure. I don't know what happened to Mike. Mike was supposed to join us.
He thought it was a post show only thing. I just saw the group chat.
Oh, okay. All right. I said pre-show and I said 7 p.m. But whatever. Thank you guys for coming on.
Yep.
I'll talk to you guys soon. I'm supposed to be going to that Barclays show. Not Barclays, the
UBS.
The UBS. But I'm not sure yet. So hopefully I go to that Raw, but it may be a waste of my time.
I will be there the week. What week or 2 weeks after?
One?
The AEW show.
Was December 8th, right?
December 8th. Yes.
I will. Nice. I'm so mad. My last day classes is like December 9th.
Oh,
and I move out.
So just leave early.
I know, but I want to be focused on everything because I'm currently just.
What happened? You still looking at the fight?
I had to show JJ.
Oh.
But before we hop up, I'll just give my quick prediction for the Charlotte Becky match. I'm gonna go with Becky because I think.
Oh, we didn't do that. Yeah. Oh, you going? Becky?
I'm going Becky.
I'll go with.
LeBron
Becky.
punched him.
See, here's a problem. This right here is going to be more entertaining than this whole pay-per-view.
Yeah, I know. I got to go watch this clip. All right, so Randy, who you got? You going?
Got LeBron because he sucker punched him in that fight.
I'm going. I'm going Becky. Randy.
Now, I have a feeling they might shoot the match and they might just end it in a no contest.
Okay.
Oh, great.
I get that feeling because it's a Survivor Series and both of them want to win.
Okay.
Someone's
Did
gonna
that
get
Shinsuke match happen yet or no?
It's happening right now. Right now they're in the middle part of the match.
All right, cool. I'm about to go watch that. You guys take care. Please make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe to all of our Sports Hitless content.